Okay, a couple things to get started here. My garage is tiny. The lighting's not the greatest. The walls being brown doesn't help with that. And I'm dressed like a farmer. So, going to be installing a DynoJet AutoTuner, which is this little device right here, onto my 2019 Harley Road Glide Special. This should be accurate to any Harley touring model 2019. I'm not going to guess your year's compatibility. I'm throwing parts around. I think it's going to be pretty easy, but there's no definitive instructions on the internet. So I've done one of these before on a 2006 Gixxer 750 years ago. I don't expect it to be much harder. Let me get this angled up just a little bit here. Hi. I've got to put O2 sensors into existing bungs on the headers. Underneath here is where I've got the DynoJet Power Commander 6, which the AutoTuner plugs into. And I assume there will be enough room in there to put the AutoTuner in there also. And then I need to run wiring from the AutoTuner to the Power Commander. AutoTuner to Power Commander and AutoTuner to the O2 sensors. I haven't looked up how to do this at all. Like I said, the DynoJet instructions, there's no specific instructions for this bike. The place where I bought it from, Fuel Moto USA, there's no specific instructions how to do it on this bike. So we're going to play it by ear, see how it goes. I am not a professional installer by any means whatsoever. I do not recommend you follow my instructions. Just use them as a pointer, maybe. And all I have for tools is a 300 some odd piece Pittsburgh toolkit from Harbor Freight. So if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so first things first, I removed the saddlebag, the side cover, and my seat. Had to take this bag off and this side cover. And this connector right here was slid up into a retainer clip right up in there. So you push it forward and it comes undone. And that is the same connector as that guy right there. And there's only a positive and a negative coming into the back of this. This is the actual tuning port for if you have a Screaming Eagle tuner for your bike. There's 5 pins in there, but all we need from it is the power. Got that all lined up. I'm not going to plug it in yet. I'm going to go ahead and get up underneath the bike and see how easy it's going to be to get the O2 sensors put in there. And I'm not too sure if I have to remove the stock ones or not. There are stock O2 sensors on there, but I have 4 O2 sensor bungs on these pipes. Room for the stock ones, and I assume room for the aftermarket ones. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so here's these are Reinhardt headers. Here's the O2 sensor, the stock O2 sensor. And then I've got another bung right up in here on both pipes. That one you can see a little better. Maybe not. Yeah, the lighting's pretty awful. And the sound of my neighbor's truck is awful too. So, right there. There you can see my finger back there. That's the other O2 sensor bung. So it looks like the stock ones stay in because they are indeed narrower and the wideband sensors are indeed wider. So I think I need, feels like I need an Allen key to get those out. I might be, yeah, I should be able to see that from the other side of the bike. There is, I'm holding my phone for a flashlight. I don't see anywhere where I can set it down to, there we go. Right there, that's an Allen key to get that sensor bung out. And right back there on the front cylinder, I think this is going to be a stupid easy install now that I've found that power plug. So let me find out what size of Allen key that needs. It looks like it's probably about a 5 or 6. Okay, I was way off. That is an 8. And I've got my super long Harbor Freight extension here. And we are going to fit. And it's in there pretty tight. Let me get that loosened up. Okay, got that one busted loose. And I started to strip that one. So I went down to a, that says 5/16. And it seems to fit pretty well too. So I can't get a good angle on that front one. It's just not wanting to seat down in there with the 5/16 or with the 8. Let me see if I can go down one size on the standard. So definitely not. One size down on the standard is way too small. Maybe there's just some gunk built up in there. Kind of looks like that might be the case. Let me get a pick and try to clean that out a little bit. Well, that one took a fight, but we finally got it loose. It too is a 15/16. Or 8mm also fits. And there we go. We got our 2 sensor bungs opened up. And now we got to see if the sensors are going to fit. I am going to put a little bit of anti-seize on those. So everything is going to be silver in about 2 minutes. Well, as luck would have it, I can't find my anti-seize, so we're going to do this without it, and I'm going to regret the hell out of it when I want to take these out someday. So I put a rubber glove on, just so I don't touch this tip with my filthy fingers. Let me get my phone set up for a flashlight. So I've got you in the pocket of my bib overalls, hoping you can see what's going on here. Pretty sure you can. So I'm going to pop this little plastic cover off and slide that up inside of there. Simple as that. Simple as that. Get in there. There we go. Got a little scared there for a second. Guess we got started on the wrong thread. All right, that one is on. I will tighten it after I get the other one put on. Other one's going to be the same way, just so I don't get beard hair in your face. I'm not going to record that part. I'm going to record it because I'm a good guy like that. So I'm going to come in through above the oil filter, but I'm going to record from this side. And hopefully you can see what's going on there. All right, we got it in the hole and it's getting started, but I'm going to have to put the camera down. Okay, and that one is in there. Let me give a flashlight. There you go. It's in there. It's not tight yet. And here's the pigtail for it. Here's the pigtail for the other one. Now I'm going to get the auto tuner mounted up and see where I can position it to where it will reach its power source and the Power Commander 6. But before I do that, I need to connect the extension cable that goes from it to these. So obviously I'm not going to record this entire process because it's going to be tedious and a royal pain in the rear. So there are dogs barking in the background. Each of the colors on this extension cable screw in to those little holes. And I'm gonna have to do that for each one of these, 2 of them, and there are 6 wires, so it's not going to take forever. It's just going to be tedious, but you can figure that out. Okay, the first one is done. That was the hardest part of this install so far. There's some kind of a little membrane inside of these holes that you're sticking these wires into, that you kind of have to pop through it before you get to a point to where that tiny little precision screw will hold it down. And then you kind of have to angle the wire down once you've got it in the hole to fit. It's It's weird. It was a pain. Once you've got them in there, give them a firm pull. If you can pull them out, they can rattle out. I'm giving these all a firm pull. Nothing's coming out. Good to go for the next one. Okay, I just turned the camera off. I'm going to turn it right back on because I have to completely undo what I did here. 1, 2. Cylinder 1, cylinder 2. This cable is incredibly long. It's going to have to reach up to cylinder 1. This other cable is incredibly short for cylinder 2. So don't make that mistake yourself. Okay, we got them both in the right order this time, hoping after I said that the front cylinder is cylinder 1, but I guess we'll find out, right? So DynoJet, if you ever see this, this is a lazy design. You've done better than this. You can do better than this. Fix this. This sucks. It took 30 minutes to get both of these screwed in. And I probably damaged some tinned wires along the way because whoever did the tinning on these wires got the solder up into the insulation. So you've got a piss poor soldering guy up there, and or wherever you got these cables from. Maybe they're not yours, but you did this. This is a terrible design. Fix it. So now let me figure out where I'm going to run all this wiring, and I'll show you where I've got that when I'm done. So we've got to have power down here where I showed you before. But we're going to have to plug that in last, or at least feed the wire down through here first to plug it in. There's really not anywhere over here to hide this auto tuner. So I'm going to have to hide it over there where the Power Commander's at. Get through there now. There we go. Nope, still not. Look, things have fit through there before. You know what I'm gonna do, I'll show you. I'm gonna get a Torx bit. So this is a T40, and I need my ratchet. So we're gonna take this loose and see if we can't bend it out of the way just enough. And I totally could have done that with a socket too. So if you don't have Torx bits, I didn't even notice that was a hex head socket. Boy, that's one-handed stuff. It's for the YouTubers. Let's take out the other side. That's gonna get me some room. Perfect. Okay, so now here's my auto tuner. Drape those wires over there for right now. I'm going to bring this down through here. And that's going to have to live underneath the seat. Hopefully it can reach the Power Commander. We're not going to plug anything in. Yeah, we are. We're going to plug this into power. Let me get those two screws back in. I'll bring you back. Okay, so here's that power connector. It slides in right there. So I'm going to get this plugged into it. This is the auto tuner harness. And I'm going to try to clip it back in there so it's secure. Take a little more wire from that. Perfect. And this little rubber piece right here was just a weatherproof plug for that. I'm gonna wrap it around there. And we should be good for power. Now, let's figure out where these guys are gonna go. I'm guessing we're gonna have to keep the wiring on the left side of the bike, which doesn't really make me super happy, but it's gonna have to be done. So I should have brought my flashlight that clips to my hat. I told you the lighting in here is garbage. So here's cylinder 2, here's cylinder 2, the short one. I'm gonna get this plugged into here, and I'm gonna find out where to route the cable to get cylinder 1 plugged into here, and I'm going to need 2 hands to do that, so we'll bring you back shortly. Okay, I'm not super proud of what I got going on here, but there, how can I set this up? Right here is the front cylinder O2 sensor. I've got it zip tied to this hose right here. There's the zip tie. I'll clean that up. I'll trim off the extra from the zip tie when I get done. And it runs along the top of the motor. I've got it zip tied to this wiring from the ridiculous accent lights that the previous owner put on this bike. I'll trim that one later. Cylinder 2. I've got it connected with no zip ties, and it's just tucked way down inside of there. There you can see that gray connector. I'm bad at this. The power's hooked up. And this is how much length I've got left from power. And this is how much length I've got back from the O2 sensors. So the auto tuner is going to have to sit underneath the seat, which is kind of a problem. I may try to stick it to the back of this backrest stem. And the last step, other than cleaning up, this is the CAN bus cable that connects the Power Commander to the auto tuner. So let me get that hooked up and we'll figure out where that's going to be routed. Okay, so I took this little bolt out here from my backrest stem so I could get the wiring up underneath there so I wouldn't have to undo all those 50 bajillion wires. I've got it super velcroed to the fender, and that's pretty well. Oh, I did. So here's the CAN bus connector. You know what? Let me take that out and put it closer in. And also, when you put this in, let me get my light steady there. When you put this CAN bus connector onto the Power Commander 5, you have to take a dust cover off. And the auto tuner, mine at least, did not come with any dust covers, so don't lose that dust cover you take off, because one of those connectors, where'd it go? One of those connectors give me my screen back. Right here is where you're going to plug in. You can use that other dust cover from the Power Commander 5 to plug that one off. So let's take this, fish it behind there, get it plugged in. Get in there, boop. You'll hear it click, and we are good to go. I am not going to bother showing you putting this back together because that's not what this is about. Is I still need to figure out how to get my heated seat cables routed back through there and all that good stuff. So I think we'll wrap this video up and I'll do another video of getting the thing set up on the computer later on. So appreciate you watching. We didn't ride, so don't appreciate you riding along, and I'll see you on the next one.